to admit people in here as they join, respectful of everyone's time. So thank you so much for joining today to get to learn a little bit more about this incredible event. Um, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Frances Mercer, the Executive Director of the Ottawa Sport Council. And so we're delighted and to be with all of you to be able to explain about what this event really means and the impact that it's going to have. And so I do have a small slide deck here to kind of give you some visuals around the event, and this will be shared with everybody as well when we're finished with this, along with all of the questions. We are recording it so we can share it with others that couldn't attend, and it'll be a really great way to capture the information and all of the questions. So just a little of the logistics. We'll go over the slide deck. Hopefully, it'll answer some of the questions everyone has, and then a good amount of time at the end for just some dialogue questions. We can hopefully answer on the spot, and then if not, be able to listen and then get back to you on those questions and thoughts around what you've learned today. If you, just a little background, if you're not familiar with the Ottawa Sport Council, we're an arm of the City of Ottawa. We've been champion educating and connecting sport for over 12 years, and we're really thrilled to be able to work at making sport more possible for everyone in the city. And this event has actually been something that's been thought about and dreamt about for many, many years. So it's just looking at the opportunity with the 200th anniversary of the City of Ottawa. Couldn't find a better time to drive this forward. Also, today we do have the City of Ottawa Recreation, Culture, and Facility Services team here. We have Adam and Tanisha, and we also have Dan Plouffe, our communications lead on this information session as well. So just to kind of start off, we've got the dates are firmed up for this event. At the moment, we're really kind of going forward with the 2 days everyone plays, celebrate together theme. So with the Ottawa 200th event, the motto really is celebrate together, and so we're taking that to the other level, aligning it with Celebrate Together Through Sport. And that's June 6th and 7th. So that whole weekend. And in terms of timing and when the event should be held, really it's a whole weekend event. So there's no start or stop in terms of timelines. And so it's really just like a weekend event. And really that schedule is up to the community sport hosts. So let me get some others in here. Okay. I'm hoping everyone can see my screen and that we're good to go here. Maybe we'll drop that down. And like I said, we'll go through the slide deck and then open up for questions and some dialogue at the end here. So this is really just a vision of why this is important. And there's so many aspects to 2 days everyone plays. We're really looking at that Ottawa 200th milestone and the history behind that. And, we've done some research and looked at the centennial and seeing how we can really bring forward another incredible event, connecting everyone through sport. We want to showcase, everyone's ability and that sport really matters in our social infrastructure. We're also looking at just celebration and fun and a sense of belonging, where we're trying our best to, make it accessible and a place where everyone can belong during this celebration. We know that sport plays such a vital role in mental health and the joy, and that's one of my favorite words when it comes to sport. We also want to recognize that physical health and well-being, physical activity, both mentally, physically, socially, and then this is an opportunity to really develop skills not just in our community, but in our volunteers, in our coaches, in our athletes, and in our parents, and skills around all sorts of sports aspects, safe sport, coaching, equity, and then we really have that friendship, which is sport creates those friendships, and this is an opportunity to do that on such a wide, broad um, level. And And so the reason to be a community sport host, we're really kind of trying our best to kind of make it such a big, broad impact. So when you look at citywide marketing and broad communications, we're going to really dive into radio, news, looking at opportunities to recruit new members, and campers. We're also looking at recruiting volunteers. We have an objective is throughout this event, as we have more community sport hosts join, we'll be profiling every organization that is participating in this event, making sure that you're highlighted in terms of what you bring to the community. This is also a great opportunity to provide the communities with different QR codes or coupons or ways to register for programs, summer camps, post-event, and that there'll be a lot of 200 event websites dedicated to showcasing not just this event, but all different 200th anniversary events. Building strong communities is a huge reason. So we have that social connection, again, that education, ethics, achievement for everyone involved, bringing people and civic pride together, and those smiles and joy. And again, that historical legacy for the city of Ottawa. And really, in this, you'll get from me a link to the history of the centennial and how sport played such a big role in that event, and how we want to replicate that dedication and passion for sport in celebration in these special moments. And then we're also really looking at the growth of sport being recognized as a vital part of our history, and that, hopefully we're aiming for this event to be the first of many, and that this can be an annual event in a different, maybe smaller capacity, but at the same time, really making this event a legacy. And as I'm sure many of you are aware, the Future of Sport in Canada Commission released its report, and that we have so much to take from that. And this is a great opportunity to really make some impact in that report. Oh, wrong way. Whoops, sorry about that. We just want to recognize that collaboration makes it possible. And so there's so many layers and important players to why and how this event is coming to be. So we have the Ottawa Sport Council, we have our incredible community sport hosts that really are the heart of this event. We have our City of Ottawa Recreation, Culture, and Facilities Services team that are a critical support and develop of this event. And then we have our Ottawa 200th dedicated team. The Ottawa Sport Council really wants to recognize that this is an event made possible by all of these collaborators and many more, right? We were looking at as we move this event forward, we have so many volunteers, so many parents, coaches, and other partners that are going to be joining as we move forward. So different types of activations that you can host. I mean, really, this is up to the community sport host in terms of what types of programs work best in your organization based on capacity, coaches, volunteers, facility location. This was just kind of a summarize of a few options. So you have your try it sessions. Those are great beginners, new to sport, really showcasing the physical activity. They don't have to be very long, a minimum of 45 minutes to 1 hour. This is instruction based, equipment is provided, all those barriers are removed, and successful participation is really the goal at any level. Parent and child programming is a great opportunity to have parents and children come together to learn a new sport or participate in a sport. We've seen great ones such as, baby carrier dancing, family soccer, toddler and parent tennis, or just a wide family-oriented try it session. We have clinics and workshops, so advancing a skill or a technique in your sport, such as backhand tennis clinics, volleyball serving workshops, or a power skate clinic. These are all different ways where you can take athletes and participants who are passionate about a specific sport and really bring a new element and layer to their experience. And then open houses are fantastic if you have the capacity and the ability to open up your sport facility and showcase different activities, especially if you have multi-sport or multi levels, then this is a great opportunity to do so. Um, just a little bit about, the Ottawa Sport Council and that we believe there should only be positive experiences in sport. A key element to this event is really making all of these different sport hosting opportunities just that. And so that's why we're here to support all of the community sport hosts through this with toolkits, communications, and just being really right there with you to ensure that all of the experiences in this event are positive. We're going to be hosting different clinics in terms of training volunteers and coaches and administrators and providing education around how to make this experience quality and positive. Here is our logistics overview. I just wanted to check in here. Sorry, oops. I'm assuming you now can't see my screen or my slide deck. Sorry about that. There we go. Um, to have Adam from the City of Ottawa come on and just give a little bit about what they are doing.
Yeah, no problem at all. So my name's Adam O'Rourke. I've been working with the city for about 17 years. I'm in recreation culture and facility services, and Tanisha and I are both going to be helping from the city side on this with many other hands too through marketing and the MCU department. So we'll be supporting kind of in a logistical role, front desk. I think it's on one of the slides here. Front desk is one of the softwares that we'll be using, and it'd be kind of a one catch-all registration software. People don't need accounts to register. They simply will go to this link either off Ottawa Sports Council's website or through the city's website, and that will take them to registration. They just simply put their name in, an email address, and a phone number, and that will hold their spot. If it's again like a pickleball or an open house or whatever the activity may be, we'll build like a data entry sheet, which will build into this registration software. And it's a one-stop kind of catch-all for both days. And that will just hold people's bookings. If they need to cancel, there's an opportunity for them to just cancel out or unregister from the event. And then we can kind of pick mins and maxes as well. If it's again more of an open house, it might have quite a large number. If it is more try it or a specific skill, then we might want a smaller number. So we'll handle some of that as well. Like Francis mentioned, if it is maybe a field or a location, we're planning to assist with like some allocations. So if it's a gym space possibly, or a court, a room, or something to that effect, we're going to be working with our allocations department to make sure we can kind of have that available. And obviously, any event running at a city facility will have front desk available, some first aid support, and all that helping with the event. So yeah, we're definitely here to kind of support the best we can. We've had some great meetings already. There's lots of, again, different hands in the pot from the city to support this side. So yeah, by all means, we're happy to help any way we can.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Um, and so, yeah, so we have a lot of different logistics overview that the Ottawa Sport Council and the city is really trying to make this um, as easy for our community sport hosts by providing you with the supports, the tools, and really have your strengths really be on that day hosting at your site or facility to really showcase the sport that you have. When it comes to communications and marketing, we're really going to try to bring this as wide as possible. We have a strong communications and marketing strategy here at the Ottawa Sport Council where we want to make sure we reach everyone everywhere to welcome them to this celebration. So we're going to be working closely with school boards, community resource centers and health centers through City of Ottawa recreation centers, community and neighborhood associations, early on centers, and obviously through the community sport hosts themselves and reaching your athletes, parents, families, and members. And then through the universities, colleges, and also through immigration and support services. So we're going to really showcase that we want everyone to have a whole weekend of sport and making sure everyone is aware. We also will have a dedicated website sportottawa.ca for the 200th event, both for the community sport hosts and also for the public. Staff and volunteer training and supports is a big part of this event. We're dedicated as our purpose as the Ottawa Sport Council is really bringing education and connection into the community sports sector. And we're going to use this opportunity to do just that as well. So really working with community sport hosts in terms of developing, making sure we have the toolbox for you that you need, templates, codes of conduct, different safe sport policies, trainings for staff, coaches, administrators, volunteers. And this is going to be a real solid part of what we do and how we support community sport hosts. And we touched base a little bit at the beginning, but we're really aiming for a legacy. I mean, being part of the Ottawa 200th celebration is exactly that. And we're so thrilled to be able to put this together and be part of this citywide celebration. We want to go, even a step further and looking at the future of having a citywide try it opportunity on an annual basis. And so, we're building this not just for 2026, but for many years to come. We want to be able to provide an opportunity to connect, reunite, and showcase different sports, if not this year, but for years ahead. We also want to recognize that June 6th and 7th is Doors Open Ottawa. And we thought that was a really great link, looking at, for example, Doors Open Ottawa and thinking of it as Sports Open Ottawa and how that could tie in not just this year, but next year. And then recognizing that the first Saturday in June is National Health and Fitness Day. And so this is a national, participation and highlight on the importance of health and fitness and the city of Ottawa participating in that. And also June is Participation Month. And so we're going to lead Canada, Ottawa, but also Canada movement and physical health. And so we just really want to recognize that the community sport hosts really are the heart of this experience. It's the foundation of bringing thousands of people together. And without the dedication of your teams, volunteers, coaches, and administrators, we wouldn't be able to make this possible. And so we really want to recognize that this is where this event lives. And there were some questions that were provided in advance, so I really appreciate that. We tried to touch base on them here. This will evolve, and like I said, there'll be specific toolkits for community sport hosts that will contain all of this information. But just a couple, important questions that have come up is insurance requirements. So there are insurance requirements for community sport hosts. It's within your commercial general liability insurance. We're ensuring that the City of Ottawa and the Ottawa Sport Council is listed secondary insured. We have a template for you in terms of contacting your insurance companies, requesting these certificates, and making sure you're supported through that insurance requirements process. That's all very much detailed out in our toolkit. And that we also will be providing hosts with the participant waiver during the registration process, but also in person on the registration platform. And that we also have a community sport host agreement that will be provided to the community sport hosts that will outline all the roles and responsibilities when it comes to insurance risk and waivers. So this is all communicated and supported for you. And if there's any questions, you can directly reach out to me, and this will be provided to you. This event from a financial is free for all. So we want to make this event 100% free for our community members to attend. Um, and the City of Ottawa, as Adam said, is waiving the fees for permits for facilities and allocations to ensure that the cost of this event there's no cost. And also, if your event requires equipment, we can look at contacting other organizations to borrow and support that if needed. Volunteer and staffing recruitment will be big in this event. The Ottawa Sport Council and Volunteer Ottawa is here to make sure that that is supported. We also want to make sure that all our volunteers and staffing meet safe sports standards, such as screening and references. We have different trainings that will be provided. And we just want to make sure that for community sport hosts, that there's enough support to meet the participation ratio of the activation. So we can provide some volunteers to support the event. However, we're looking at the sport hosts as providing their coaches, their staff, their volunteers to really support their activation. Um, and if you do need additional support, we can look at how we can do that for you. And then facility venue, we just want to make sure we're looking at are the spaces safe, secure, and ready, and that there is also one CPR first aid certified staff or volunteer. And so Adam touched base on the hosts in terms of the registration system. We will be able to put minimums and maximums onto the registration platform. We want to recognize, though, that the general rule is in these types of events, when they are free, that there is typically a 15 to 20% less attendance than what was registered. So looking at if you have the capacity to add some more spaces, just so that you have opened up those doors to have as many as you can. If you do have drop-in options feasible, we can highlight that on the registration software as well. That drop-in options, if on the day of people's plans change, that they can still come and participate. We already touched base quite a bit on the marketing and communications, but that we really are here to support that in for the community sport hosts, and that will be provided through the toolkit, and that we have lots of publications and media strategy to go forward. And so we are going to be working, with all the different teams to make sure that, every aspect of this event, we can support the community sport hosts, and we welcome all different questions. If there's something specific, you can reach out to me directly, and then I can get back to you on those answers. And so we're going to open up the floor for questions and conversation. We just really want to recognize to thank you, the community sport hosts, because again, this isn't possible without you. And that also the Ottawa Sport Council gratefully acknowledges the financial support of the City of Ottawa. We also want to highlight that in line with this wonderful event, we have our Applying Sport Safety in Community Sport with Coaching Association of Canada. We are fortunate to have their sport safety expertise. We have a webinar on Thursday, May 7th from 11:30 to 1, and this is going to go over at a community sport level how to keep your environment safe, secure, and smart during not just this event, but for your organization all year round. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here so I can see. And so feel free. We are opening the floor for all those questions and conversation, and I'll do my best to answer. And if not, I'll take it back and we'll go from there. So, and if you want, just raise hand and I'll be able to kind of keep track of if there's any specific questions and who's next. David.
Yeah, I can jump in with the first question. Thank you, Francis, and the City of Ottawa for the initiative. I think it's very interesting. You answered most of my questions in your presentation, but one question that came up about the equipment that the sport, I'm with the soccer club there, so the equipment that we would have to provide, there's not a lot of equipment in soccer, but everybody has to be wearing shin pads. So that would be a requirement for our club to provide shin pads for everybody who shows up, or could we request, let's say if it was a tryout session or family soccer day like you suggested there, could we say that people had to show up with shin pads? You know, when we have probably a dozen pairs in the office for people, kids who show up at a game and they don't wear shin pads and we lend them out. But, you know, if we get 100 people show up, then I don't have 100 pairs of shin pads for people. So I know it's soccer specific and maybe you don't want specific questions, but that's one question that I would have for you.
No, no, that's great. Something that we can look at how we can best support that in terms of, whoops, saying my internet's unstable, but hopefully you can still hear me. Look at how we can support that and what role we can have in that. We definitely would want to try and find a solution in terms of ensuring that, you know, all the participants are safe. And, you know, maybe it would be more in terms of if, you know, we could support or borrow or even do an equipment drive to try and secure some of those much needed equipment to provide to our community sport host. Likely maybe, you know, trying to have 100 pairs might be difficult, but then maybe limiting the time frame and having multiple sessions where 20 people show up for that hour and then 20 the next hour in order to be able to equip them with the right equipment. But definitely I'll note that down and be able to connect with you.
Okay, thanks. You know, when the kids play soccer at lunchtime at school, nobody has shin pads, but I think if we were to
True.
get insurance from Ontario Soccer, who is our insurance provider, or it's the connection through Ontario Soccer, they would probably require us, you know, FIFA rules that everybody has shin pads. So, but I like
Absolutely.
your
And
idea of
that
having,
sounds like
you
a
know,
good plan forward.
20 pairs and have them switch around. So very, very good solution. Thanks.
Yes, no, great to try and apply all the different safety measures that we can. Absolutely. Rachers.
Yeah, hello, afternoon to everyone. Our club is an Australian rules football club, and consequently, the ground size to play a game is very large. We have competition games going on the Saturday. Consequently, our thoughts were to have people attend that competition game and provide players to help explain what the game is and how it's played and what's going on the field. On the Sunday, we would be able to hold clinics for anybody who's interested to try out the game. We would need a facility provided by the city, though, to be able to hold those clinics, as our own facilities are already taken up with other activities on the Sunday.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, no, that sounds like a really great opportunity to really involve the community and not just trying, but really learning the sport. And so definitely we can connect and the city of Ottawa is working, to ensure we can see for facilities that are needed and working with the community sport hosts and looking at what's available and then hoping to remove that challenge for you. So we'll definitely connect on that and see what opportunities could be there. Great. I think I have Shant K.
Yeah, it's Carrie. Sorry.
Harry.
Yeah, so Elmdale Lawn Bowling Club, we're in. So I want to know the next steps. So what you need for us to for the advertising, what kind of information you need. Again, this people would be I think signing up through front door or front desk, I think you said. So again, what are your expectations and how many people? I guess that would be for us, which is fine, maybe ten people per hour type of idea. But again, what are your expectations for time wise? Like 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. Is that something that would be what you're looking at type of idea? Um, what do we need from us? And then also that you said that you'd have for the screening for the volunteers, what type of screening and references would you need from us from that? Like, do you need police checks and stuff like that done? Because that takes some time to do that. So I just wanted to understand those kinds of ideas.
Is Elmdale?
Sorry, Elmdale Lawn Bowling Club.
Great. Yes, so absolutely. So timeline in terms of determining when to schedule your sessions for the activations, that's really community sport host specific. If there's an ideal time during that weekend, if it's just one of the days, both of the days, only in the morning, only in the evening, or if you have opportunity to do 9 to 3, those are all options. It's really up to the community sport host. So we have that will be starting next week is communicating with the registrants, so everyone in this webinar as well, but communicating with those who have confirmed their participation, the next steps in terms of getting your information into the database and then bringing that into the front desk tool. And then working with the city in terms of when that will be going live to the public. That'll be all in development. But really, the next step is next week. We're going to be starting the Ottawa Sport Council team in terms of connecting with the registered community sport hosts, providing you the toolkits, the resources, and really having those one-on-one meetings with your organization to further develop your vision of what your sport hosts capabilities are, and then bringing all of that information into our systems and our logistics, adding it to the website, and then having it go public. And so this will all be in the development over the next week, ready to launch for May. And then when it comes to screening, so that will be, there's a whole screening of volunteer requirements in terms of how to have your volunteers screened and your staff, your supports, and that's all that information will be provided in the toolkit. Um, so I believe next we have Shannon.
Great. Thank you, Francis. Just with regard to the facility bookings, we plan to use city facilities for our soccer programming as we usually do. I'm just wondering if there is any benefit to us going ahead and trying to book those through the city right away, or if we should wait to hear from you all about next steps for this particular initiative.
I would say like we can connect on that soon, so we can get that information over to the city to make sure to see if what if you're looking for a specific location or site, see what's available, and then we'll be able to navigate that, see what's best for your opportunity to host. But we can connect on that really soon.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Just gonna note that down. And Susan.
Hi, Francis. I had a quick question. You had mentioned each site would require someone that's certified in first aid. Is the city open to doing any kind of free training programs? I know they provide first aid training on various days within their programming.
So yeah, so that's something that we are in the midst of looking at and developing in terms of if your community sport host organization doesn't have aid or CPR, coach, volunteer, parent, that we would look at how we can best support that through, trainings and workshops. Also, we have our volunteer recruitment for the event as well. So would that be best where we can provide you for your specific site if your community sport host organization needs that support. So that's really the role the Ottawa Sport Council has, is really trying to remove you need to try and make your community sport hosting opportunity your organization to do that, whether it's through supporting through training or supporting through volunteers.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. I think, is that everybody? I can't believe that we managed to do that in that short period of time. So, um, really though, like you have my email. So please reach out to me if you have any specific questions about the event, your role as a community sport host. If you're not sure, happy to hop on a details and in depth. If you're not sure if you meet the requirements or we're trying to really go, it's quick timelines, so we appreciate quick timelines, but the opportunity is here. Not going to let it pass by. We will also have a lot of this event in the next week. We're going to of the exciting and do that month and a half. Um, oh, Brian. Oh, Brian, I think you're on mute there.
There we go. It took me
There
a
we
while
go.
to find the hand. Sorry about that. I'm from the Ottawa Judo Club, and I was wondering, like all of our coaches have NCCP certification, and before getting certified, they have to do a police check, and it has to be done every 3 years. If they have a current police check in the last 3 years, is that adequate, or do we still need to go through your police check process?
If you have those screenings and certificates to ensure that your community host
It's freezing quite a bit. I don't know if
a
I'm doing the
requirement that
same.
oh yeah,
It's same here.
everyone is freezing.
I think you are,
I think
Francis. There, it's a bit
the
choppy.
internet's yeah.
You want to try without video, maybe?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my video off for a second. I just tried to switch connection, so we'll see if that is any better.
Sounds better so far.
But I can definitely see there's still quite a bit of frozen here. But it looks like it's getting better. So sorry, I am trying to get back there to your question. So yes, so when it comes to certification police checks, we're not going to be asking that every parent, coach, administrator get another police check done for specifically for this event, but that we will make sure that the organization already has had those screening requirements and processes part of their onboarding for their coaches and staff and volunteers.
And the second question, all of the clubs, judo clubs in Ontario that are registered with the provincial organization has insurance. Would that insurance certificate be adequate?
So the insurance certificates, so what will need to be done specifically for organizations' insurance certificates is that there will have to be secondary insured certificates issued. We have a template for community sport hosts in terms of requesting that from your insurance provider, just clearly laying out what is needed. And it's usually a fairly simple process where you send an email to your insurance provider, you let them know who the secondary insured needs to be, and then they produce you a certificate of secondary insured, and it lists everyone on there. And that's all of that direction and support is through we have in the toolkit for our community sport hosts.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well, thank you everybody for attending. And like I said, reach out to me at any point. You will hear back from me as well in terms of detailing out this conversation and meeting. And I really look forward to working with each and every one of you and your teams in getting this event up and off and ready to roll for this 200th anniversary of the city. And again, if you have anything, you know where to find me, and I will definitely be talking to you soon. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Frances.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Francis.